Hello artists, Mrs. Castle here, and we are going to talk a little bit about tools that you can use for a watercolor painting effect for, um, for our assignment. And for this assignment that I'm talking about is the food for thought assignment, and doing a watercolor kind of effect is one of the choices that you have if you're using the Sketchbook app. So first of all, just in case you're not familiar with Sketchbook, there are a couple of different menus you need to know about. Over on this side is the library, where all the tools that that you have available are here. There's lots and lots of them, but we're going to only talk about certain ones for um, for the watercolor effect. Um, and across here are a bunch of tools that will be useful for you. Here, if to get a new screen or to turn in your piece, you're going to use some of these tools here, and we'll talk about that when that happens. Right here is undo and redo. You will probably not need many of those. You probably won't need the text tool, but once in a while it's nice to get these menus around the outside here out of the way. So you're going to touch that one, and it makes the menus on the outside edge go away. And if you need them, you can touch that again and they come back. On this side, there is all the things that or all the layers, like, oops, get that out of the way. Each one of these boxes here that when I touch it, it outlines with blue. Those are each a layer that you can draw in different layers to keep the layers below safe. Say you get your sky just the way you want it. You want to add another layer so that you don't mess up the sky, and you can add the ground in, or ocean or whatever. And I will talk about that more later. So the tools that you have to use from the library. If I want to see my tools, I can open the library and I can scroll through here, but I have some pictures that I want you to see. Okay, first we have the coarse watercolor brush, and it's in the basic set. And whenever we're here, whenever I touch a tool, it's going to highlight in blue. So that's how you know which tool you have. And this is a screenshot that I took before. So I can touch this all I want, and it's not going to do anything because it's not the actual library. Okay, next one we have our wet frayed bristles brush in the artist brushes. And then we have bleeding watercolor brush from the artist brushes. And oops, here we go. The salty watercolor brush. That one's kind of cool. It kind of leaves a speckly look to it. If you want certain textures, you can use that. Then our next one is a speckled brush. Let me see if I can, okay. There, you can kind of see the speckly texture on that, that brush makes. That's good for for certain textures also, and it's kind of watercolory, so that one's okay to use. It's hard to get it put back when you move it, when you enlarge it. Okay. Okay, our next tool that is good to use in the texture essentials also is there is a watercolor brush in there, so that one's good too. And the color builder brush, it's kind of watercolory, so that's 7 brushes that you have that you can use at different times for your watercolor painting. Those are the brushes that you're allowed to use. I suggest finding them in your menu, like Texture Essentials. There's the watercolor brush, and watercolor brush. What other one was in the Texture Essentials? Oh, the color builder. And that's a square eraser. What happened? Oh, no. It was the speckle brush. My bad. And the speckle brush right there. Those two are there for you to use in that one. Don't use any of the synthetic paint brushes. Those look like acrylic paint. If you want this one, you got to use the tools that look like watercolor. And in the artist brushes, we have that fan brush, the salty watercolor, the wet frayed brush, bristles, and the bleeding watercolor brush. What was that one? No, don't use that one, that's ink. But you've got 3 in here that you're allowed to use in the artist brushes. And in the basic, up at the top, there's the coarse watercolor brush. I thought there was another one in basic. Not that one. Not that one. Oh, the color builder. Like those 2 in the basic. Okay. So those are the brushes that you are allowed to use for this assignment. And that's all for right now. Thanks for watching.